Hello and welcome to another personal leadership session. Today we're going to talk to you about an interesting word called success. Success, I believe everybody has achieved a certain level of success so far in their life. Just learning how to walk and you've achieved some level of success. And a lot of people get wrapped up and caught up with, wanting to be successful, and so, you really need to come up with your own definition of what is success to you. For me, definition of success is where I am today compared to where I want to be in the future and where I am on that journey. Am I on track or am I off track? So success for me means one thing. For you, it could be completely different. So I believe we've all, got a level of success that we've achieved so far in our life. However, we have so much more potential that we can also utilise and make do with as well. So today we're going to talk about, what we see as, guidelines, philosophies, or even laws of success. There's no, right or wrong, but if, you have a look at some guidelines, and it's often said that success leaves clues. There's a cause and effect, and if you want a particular effect in your life, find out what causes that and replicate it, and ideally you'll get a similar sort of result. So today we're going to look at 4 guidelines, 4 laws, philosophies, or whatever you like to call them, for achieving a greater level of success that you'd have achieved in your life so far. And these are universal principles, universal philosophies, if you like to call them that. And what I mean by that is, for example, gravity is a universal principle. We all know that if you walk off a building, what's exactly going to happen? That magnetic, attraction to the centre of the globe will bring you crashing back down to the floor. So, we don't argue with that. We work with it. We use it to our advantage in many cases as well. So it's very similar to these philosophies that we're going to work with you today. Don't fight them. Don't aim to reinvent them. They've actually been around for centuries, if not, thousands of years, and produce results over and over and over again. So have some fun with them. Take from them what you like, leave what you don't behind, and ensure that, you walk out of today, in a better place, knowing what you can cause and what you can create for your future when we have a chat about them. So the first philosophy, or the first law of success that I'm going to chat about, is what's called the law of possession. And the law of possession means that you take ownership of your current situation and understand that if things are going to happen in life, you've got to make them happen. And you can really sum it up in a very short phrase. If it is to be, it's up to me. How better off would this world and this planet be if every day people woke up, looked in the mirror and said, if things are going to happen today, I've got to be the one to make it happen. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to cause whatever I need to cause to get the results that I'm looking for. Far too often people are quick to blame, point the finger, make excuses, justify, rationalise, look at other ways external to them for their current situation. But they're recognising that, you are your situation, and it's a reflection of who you're being at this point in time, gives you so much more power and I suppose motivation, if you want to call it that, to get out there and create your future. I'd like you to write this down for me in big capital letters on a blank piece of paper just in front of you. No one is coming. That's right, no one is here to rescue you. No one's going to arrive. There's not going to be any knight in shining armour arrive and say, here you are, let me guide you, let me take you, let me, make it easy for you. If you understand that no one's coming and you take full ownership of your situation, and responsibility is another word you could utilise there as well, and say, I'm going to make some things happen. If I've got an outcome or a desired lifestyle, or I want my business to be in a particular position, I've got to be the person to cause it and make things happen. So that's the first universal principle or law of success, the law of possession. So let's take a look at the second law or philosophy, if you'd like to call it. One of the things that I love to do is watch sporting events, and particularly the Olympics. The Olympics that come around only every 4 years, and you see the best athletes in the country or in their country being represented on a global scale. And it comes back down to a first, a second and a third place in each event. And when the athletes are on the dais and the athletes receive the gold medal and the national anthem's playing, and then you see tears streaming down the face of the athlete, I'm very emotional around that too, and I start to have some tears come down my face at the same time. And what I do love about that is here's someone who has dedicated not just a week, a month, a year, or even 4 years, but perhaps their whole life. And this has been their accomplishment, the fulfillment. And it's the gold medal. And, there's not many people who can, go to bed at night, saying that they're the best in the world and they've accomplished a gold medal at the Olympics. Now, the great thing about that is not winning the gold, but it's the effort that has been put into winning the gold. And, there's a lot of people in life who want the gold medal, but they're not prepared to put the work in to achieve it. There's a lot of people that want the result, but they're not prepared to put in the training that produces that result. So the second law, the second principle is what's called the law of effort and reward. Knowing that if you want something and desire something in life, there's got to be a certain amount of effort that you're prepared to put into achieve that. You may have to give up a few things to get what you really want. And it's been said before, what are you prepared to give up to get what you really desire in life? Knowing that the gold medal is there, it's the accomplishment and the energy, the effort that you put into that and the training is really what gives you the payoff at the end. It's said that it takes at least 7 years or about 10,000 hours of focused energy to master a particular area of your life, whether that be wealth, your career, your business, relationships. In our sporting case, it's a chosen sport or it's a chosen field. So when you have a look at the law of effort and reward, know that the gold medal's there if you're prepared to put the effort in. However, don't be one of these people who expects the gold medal without having to put the effort or the training in or the focus and preparation to achieve the reward at the end. So that's the second one, the law of effort and reward. What can you take out of that? Now, just before we move on to the third universal law of success or philosophy, if you like to call it that, just going back a bit on that effort and reward we talk about. There's a difference between effort and struggle. Effort is energy and focus with a positive outcome and a positive, attitude towards that. Struggle is when you have, negatively laced energy involved in that. So there's a big difference between effort and struggle. A lot of people think, well, I've got to struggle and life's a struggle. Life shouldn't be a battle. Life's about applying yourself in the things that you're directed to, and knowing that there's going to be a reward and an outcome at the end of that. It may take more effort than you expect in the first place. However, the key is understanding if you start to struggle, there's negative energy and laced with it as well, then it's not going to be the best use of your time. You might want to redirect your energy in some other way. So let's look at the third universal law of success. And you may have heard this phrase touted around before that, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And if you want something you've never had, you may have to do something that you've never done. Or if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So the key here is that you must be able to change yourself or your application in some sort of way to get the results that you're looking for. And so the third universal law is what's called the law of change. Really examining what you're doing today is going to be producing the results that you are getting. However, if you'd like to produce different results, what is it that you're prepared to change, do differently, give up, let go of to really help yourself move forward? And it's, we always know that change is an uncomfortable thing for many, many people. It's not so much the change that's the challenge, it's the maintenance of that change on an ongoing basis, which is the real key. So to have a look in your life right now, if you've got something in mind that you'd like to produce a certain level or a higher level of success that you're currently achieving right now, ask yourself this question: What am I prepared to change? What am I prepared to do differently? Am I prepared to look at things in a different light? And if you come up with an answer to that and the answer is yes, well then ideally that's going to help you move forward in the direction that you're looking for. So if you're not prepared to change, the opposite applies. You'll continue to get the results that you're looking for right, at this point in time. So if nothing changes, nothing changes. And that sort of wraps up our third universal law or philosophy of success, and that's the law of change. So how are we going so far with the three we've covered at this point in time? And the law of possession, which is about ownership, the law of effort and reward, and then there's the law of change. The final one I'm going to talk about is really one that we're all really familiar with. And, if you have a look at people who produce, again, that level of success and something you'd like to produce, it's about a constant application of focus, energy and effort. And that's what really sums it up. The fourth law or philosophy of success is what's called the law of constant application. And it's not what you do today that counts, because you can change today. It's not what you do tomorrow that counts, but it's what you do today plus tomorrow plus the next day, the day after that and the day after that, and continually applying these principles. We said in the last, law of change that change can happen instantly, but it's the maintenance of that change that is the challenge. And so the law of constant application helps you understand, and then also sets yourself from a mind frame that I need to constantly apply these new changes, the effort, the law of ownership and possession, and taking charge of my life myself, not just today, not just tomorrow, but on a regular basis over and over and over again. So constant application understands that results will happen if you plan out over an extended period of time, and there's no quick fix. Unfortunately, in society today, a lot of people are looking for the quick fix. They want it yesterday. Instant coffee is not quick enough. So the key here is to constantly apply yourself, and on a regular basis, remind yourself of these four laws. Again, the law of possession, the law of effort and reward, the law of change, and more importantly, the last one, which really wraps them all up today, is the law of constant application. So take what you can from those four fundamental laws or philosophies, whatever you may like to call them. Come up with your own definition of success, one that works for yourself. Take as much information in from external factors, and then come up with your own philosophies, your own guiding lights, your own, lighthouse that's going to help you make better decisions and take you in a different direction, or accelerate the direction that you're heading if you feel that you're on the right path. Have a great day, and we'll chat to you soon.